so it's Thursday. Not only is it amazing, it is Thursday. And every Thursday is Bible Thumper Thursday.
Nine people decided to take away a most important thing.
Why, George, God!
The right for abortion.
A woman's reproductive rights is on the ballot.
And I read the Bible cover to cover.
Immigrant justice is on the ballot.
You will emerge from that as an atheist.
You can love God, you can be a member of your church, you can choose to have an abortion, and you can still be a good person, all at the same time.
People want to know what that means, you just said.
Amazing. Bible Thumper Thursday. Again, there's a couple lines over if you want to jump in there. 888-7753. 773. 888-77-JESSE. So the reason for those who are tuning in for the first time, the reason that we started the Bible Thumper Thursday is because I get people that call my show and they want to talk about the Word. In the beginning, there was the Word was God, and God was the Word. And so Thursday, you get a little bit more time to talk about the Word, right? Because during the regular, and we talk about, we take whatever call too, but we call during the regular time, there are so many people that have trying to figure out their lives, and we want to focus on that as well. And so there's a lot of talk about Jesus being God from the Bible Thumpers. They believe that Jesus is God. And they also believe that the Bible is the Word of God. They believe that the Bible is the Word of God. And because they believe all these things, Christianity is being destroyed in America, not because they believe the things, but the Christians don't have the power that comes from within to fight back or allow the power to fight on their behalf. Because we can't control anything. We're not in control of anything. We're not in control of ourselves, and we're not in control of others outside of us. Nobody's in control, but every ego want to think that it is. Every ego want to beat out the next ego. It's crazy to see it, but yet it's interesting. It's crazy, but it's interesting. And it's no wonder that our world, our country, the world really, but especially the country, America, because America was founded, and by the way, Happy White History Month, America was founded by white men who were Christians. And they discovered, and with the help of God, built the greatest country on this side of heaven. And that kind of power, which only comes from God and not from humans, you rarely see it now. Rarely. There are few men and women who are starting to wake up, though. They're looking at themselves. They're trying to understand. They're paying attention to themselves and not to someone else. And so they are starting to wake up. They really are. And they're discovering things within themselves that they had no idea about. They just didn't know it. I understand it. But Christianity is under attack. If you just look around you, you may have Bible thumping Christians or so-called Christians attacking other Christians. other so-called Christians. And so not only do you have the children of the lie and worshiping the devil without admitting it, fighting against the Christian, you have the Christians fighting the Christians. Where is the love, huh? I was wondering, and I've asked the question, when did Christianity come under attack? When did this happen? How long has this been going on? So when I asked that question, I asked it, then I left it out there. But then I got this magazine from a friend, and he's writing about the attack on Christianity. And I haven't finished the whole article on Black and Slow, so I haven't finished the whole article yet. But in there, he reminded us, in talking about Christianity being under attack, he reminded us that this started with when Jesus was on the earth physically. When Jesus was on the earth physically, right? And Jesus was going around healing people. And one day, his sister, not his sister, but Lazarus' sister, I forgot her name, whatever her name is, went to Jesus and said, Jesus, Lazarus is dead. And paraphrasing, Jesus asked, well, where is he? He's buried. And so Jesus said, take me to him. Paraphrasing, so it might not be for the Bible thump, might not be word for word. And again, I'm Black and Slow, so forgive me. And so she took him to where Lazarus was buried. And Jesus healed Lazarus, he brought him back to life. But before he did that, she said to Jesus, well, he's been dead for 3 or 4 days or something like that. And his body now has an odor. You know, you have the dead odor. But Jesus is like, okay, cool. Cool. And so Jesus called forth Lazarus to come to life, come out of the grave. And he rose up and came out of the grave, right? And the people around him were like, what the? That's amazing. What the? And there were people around him who saw it, and they were able to believe. And then there was some around him, others around him who saw it, and they ran away or went away and told the Pharisees and the so-called leaders at that time what Jesus had done, that Jesus had raised Lazarus from the dead. And the Pharisees like, what the? Are you serious? Where is Jesus? He out there. And so the Pharisees and the so-called leaders during that time got together. They like, hey, we got to get together and figure this thing out. This man is going around healing people, and all we're doing is talking about it. We are rich and dressed up in our beautiful robes, and we're the religious leaders. We ain't healing nobody. So we need to get together and have a little talk as to what we're going to do about this Jesus thing. He out there healing the folks. And during that time, the Pharisees and the leaders had money. For the area that they live in, they had money. So they were rich. And they were the leader of the people. And they didn't want the people to be the leaders of their own life. But instead, Jesus out there healing and setting people free so that they can be leaders of their own life, be their own man, their own woman, right? And so instead of appreciating what Jesus was done, the Pharisees and the leaders got together. Instead of trying to learn from Jesus, they're like, we got to get rid of this guy. We can't let this happen. If we don't get rid of Jesus, the Roman army will come down on us. If they see that Jesus is doing better than we are. And so the Pharisees and others got together and they plotted to kill Jesus. Isn't that amazing? Because he was healing the people while they were sitting around talking about the Bible, but had no understanding of it. Had no understanding of it. Isn't that amazing? Doesn't that remind you of today with the Bible thumpers? They know the word intellectually, but they have no understanding. They are living in hell. They are angry. They have fear, doubt, worry, jealousy, envy, strife, revengeful, out of control. But they know the Bible. They know the word. And they won't question if the Bible is the word of God, and I know the Bible upside down, why do I still have fear? Why do I have doubt? Why do I get lonely? Why do I worry? Why am I jealous? They don't question it. They do not want to get to know themselves. It's easier in their minds to know the Bible, live in the hell that they are in, than to discover the word within and overcome the hell that they're in. People love their hell. They love their insanity. They do. And if you try to point the right way to them to overcome it, they'll hate you. They love their fallen state. They don't want to overcome it. That's why they don't look at themselves. They don't pull away from the crowd. Because they love the hell that they live in. Isn't that amazing when you think about it? You can overcome it. The New Testament is about freedom. It's about living from the kingdom within, not from the world without. It's about that. But because you won't enter the kingdom within, you're suffering. And you think trying to hurt others is going to make you feel better? No, it's just going to make you worse. It's amazing. So this is from 2 Corinthians 3:6. Our competence comes from God. Our competence comes from God. It doesn't come from the Word. It doesn't come from meaning the word of the Bible, just about reading it. It doesn't come from your friends. It doesn't come from the world. It doesn't come from your money. It doesn't come from your podcast. It doesn't come from having 100 million followers or 0 followers. It doesn't come from where you live. It doesn't come from your blackness or your whiteness or your Chineseness. It doesn't come from the type of work you do, the title you put on your name to make you feel good about titles. It doesn't come from group thinking. It doesn't come from jealousy and envy and strife. It's come from the kingdom of heaven within, straight from God. That's where you get your competence from. And if you're not getting it from that source, you don't have any. I don't care how tall, big, fat, rich, or poor. You don't have it. You put it up a front. You have fear. So our competence comes from God. He has made us competent as ministers. This is Paul talking, right? As ministers of a new covenant. A new covenant. And listen to this. For the Bible thumpers that believe the word. In the Bible, the Bible is the word of God. Our competences come from God. He has made us competent as ministers of a new covenant. Not of the letter, but of the Spirit. Not of the letter, but of the Spirit. If you notice in the Old Testament, the people could not keep the letter of the law. They tried. The Jews and others could not keep it. So not of the letter, but of the Spirit. For the letter kills, but the Spirit gives life. The letter kills, but the Spirit gives life. If you were to really go and forgive and enter into the kingdom of heaven, because he will draw you in, forgive your mothers, your fathers, that's the beginning of forgiveness. And he'll draw you in, and he will change your heart from anger to love, and you will start to grow in the Spirit. A little mustard seed was planted, and you will start to grow in the Spirit, and you are a spirit, and you return to the Spirit of the Father, and you will start to grow. But if you just read the Bible and study and remember the Bible, I read the Bible from the beginning to the end 800 times. I know the word. You are dying and not living. Have you noticed the Bible thumpers are dying? Their eyes are open, of course. They're fat and sassy, but they're dying. They have no spirit. They have no insight. They don't know themselves or anything. That's because the letter kills. But the Spirit giveth life. You must walk in the same Spirit that Christ walked in. The same Spirit that raised Lazarus from the dead dwells in you. Isn't that amazing? But you got to live, you see yourself just as a physical person. You don't see yourself as a spirit. You have identified with the outer physical and not the inner physical. And you're getting your identity from that. You get your identity from everything that's outward, from thoughts, emotions, and this crap that goes on in the world. You love it. You get your identity from that. You don't want to get your identity from the Spirit of God. One other thing I want to share with you about this is from Hebrews 4:12. So remember, the Spirit giveth life, the letter kills. That's why there's no love, because you are walking dead. Spiritually, you are dead. But the devil tell you you're alive. So Hebrews 4:12, the word of God is living and powerful. The word of God is living and powerful. Where's the power today? Aren't you in fear, not only inwardly, but you're afraid of the climate change? You're afraid of Black Lives Matter. You're afraid of what people think and say about you. You're afraid of everything. Where's the power in that, Christians? I expect the children of the devil to be afraid because Satan's nature is of fear. But how about those that are supposed to be Christians? The word of God is living and powerful. You're not living and you have no power. And is a discerning of the thoughts and intents of the heart. So the word of God is living and powerful and is a discerner of thoughts and intent of the heart. That's 4:12 of Hebrew. I rest my case. Salvation is of the heart. If you don't have love of the heart, if your heart has not been changed from anger to love, you have not been born of God. Your heart is still of your father, the devil. And anger is evil because the nature of the devil is evil. And in families today, no love, zero love. And it's all around the world because it's the same spirit everywhere. It's the same thing. Everybody got the same problem, and you just don't know it because you don't see the issues in yourself. If you saw the issues in you, you would see the issues in everybody. You also see the answer to overcoming. The heart must be changed from anger to love. Anger is wicked. Look how angry people treat each other. Look at you. All you do is look. People, I don't care if they're Christians, atheists, anti-God, whatever you want to call yourself, Jews, Gentiles, black, white, whatever the color may be. If you have anger, your heart is evil. And as a result, you have no peace. The answer's on the inside, folks. You can know the truth for yourself. But you got to be honest with you from within. Don't put your business in the world out there. You be honest with yourself by getting to know yourself, and the change will come. And the children of the devil will hate it, but they can't help it. So you would not hate them back. You will wish them well. That's your prayer. The word of God is living and powerful, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intent of the heart. Hebrew 4:12. Amazing stuff. The kingdom of heaven is within. As long as you live outwardly, you're controlled by the outer environment. You live from within, you're controlled by the inner environment. The one that's inside is real, the other one is fake. 888-77-53773. When I come back, I'll take your phone calls. Back in a moment.